What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai, an extension of Anime Senpai PH channel. All pieces of information are derived from the light novel. In today's video, we will continue Chapter 1, Volume 8 of the light novel, entitled Reconciliation and Agreement. This video is the fourth part of Chapter 1 in our Tensura spoiler video series. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, feel free to check out the links in the description below. Now, let's get to the video. Rimuru clarified that they had baths that everyone could go in, separated by gender. But there's also a mixed bath, if that's more of what Luminous was into. Rimuru thought that would have been enough, but others reacted before her. Rimuru grinned when he saw that Arno and the other male paladins had stars in their eyes. He must have piqued their curiosity. Rimuru told Luminous that if she was interested, a mixed bath was right over there. Rimuru stopped midway. Hinata's frigid stare was pointed right at Rimuru. She wasn't falling for it. Hinata asked Luminous to go to a women's bath and said that this would be her first hot spring visit in a while, so this was a very exciting opportunity. Luminous said that if Hinata said so, she would not stop her. Rimuru expected as much, and here he was hoping that he could join Hinata and Luminous. Rimuru thought he shouldn't give up yet. Arno and his cohorts looked profoundly disappointed, but it was a fool's errand to expect the women to join the men in there. But Rimuru wondered, what if it was just him? Alright, Rimuru said, giving the paladins a suitably sheepish look. Let me guide you to the women's bath. Rimuru tried to walk away as casually as possible, but it wasn't going to be that easy. Hinata stopped Rimuru and asked him why he was trying to take them there. Rimuru was about to panic, but he told himself to keep calm and make it seem natural. Rimuru explained to Hinata that they're going to need a guide. They didn't know the way there. They had baths with different compositions of minerals and stuff. There's even a sauna. Rimuru continued that he just thought that it would be prudent to explain how it all worked. He had once guided 2 of the 3 lycanthropiers through it all. He explained to them after they'd expressed an interest. They loved it, so that was now the custom he took. Rimuru added that he thought he could give them a better picture of how great all this stuff was. Shion interjected and asked Rimuru to let her handle it. Rimuru really didn't need Shion's support right now. He had take a firm stand. Rimuru told Shion that he didn't know if he could rely on her alone. Shion was confused about his reply. Rimuru then told Hinata that there's no need to be a stick in the mud, and that he would even join them in there. Rimuru tried to sound as chill as possible. That way, his going around the women's bath wouldn't seem odd at all. Rimuru grinned and said to himself that his plan was perfect. He thought that now, he could join Hinata in the women's bath. But to his surprise, Hinata stopped Rimuru from joining and asked him why he was acting like it's completely normal for him to join them in there, when in fact, Rimuru used to be a man. Hinata saw through it. Rimuru shouldn't be able to sweat, but he swore he could still feel a cold sensation running down his back. Luminous joined Hinata's skepticism, giving Rimuru a focused look. Rimuru just didn't know what to say. He was starting to panic, but before he could formulate a coherent thought, Shion interjected and asked them what was the matter with it. Shion stressed that Sir Rimuru was Sir Rimuru. Shion, the one person Rimuru thought he couldn't count on here, swooped in to back him up. Rimuru was like, "That's right, keep it going." He tried to mentally encourage her, but in the end, Shion was Shion too. Hinata asked Shion if she could guide them around too. Shion replied, of course. Hinata said that in that case, she would like to ask her a favor, if Shion wouldn't mind. Shion seemed a little bit hesitating, for whatever reason. Hinata told Shion that this would be a good opportunity to prove to her leader that she could be relied upon. In distressingly short order, Hinata had cajoled Shion to join her side. Even worse, the two lycanthropiers joining them chose that moment to speak up. One lycanthropier encouraged Shion not to worry and promised that they would be there too. So if Shion forgot anything, they could help. Another lycanthropier agreed and said that they had become regulars at this point, so they knew how it all worked. Shion made up her mind and begged Rimuru to let her handle this. Rimuru allowed Shion and told her to make him proud. And here Rimuru was hoping to get a look at Hinata's lovely naked body. But at this point, giving up was the only option left. Rimuru had just lost the chance of a lifetime, and he had to face up to that, as much as it distressed him. Pulling himself back together, Rimuru turned toward Benimaru. He told him that he would pay the men's bath a visit for the first time in a while. That's one thing Rimuru likes to give himself credit for, his ability to mentally switch gears fast. Rimuru asked Benimaru who wanted to scrub his back. He told him that it's nothing like letting the water from deep in the mountains take the sweat and fatigue away. Benimaru asked Rimuru to allow him. Benimaru and the gang loved the hot spring they had all built together. Going in as a group now and then wasn't such a bad thing. Veldora grinned and asked Rimuru if he would do his back then. Rimuru asked him back why he had to do something like that. He had no interest in dealing with Veldora. Rimuru brushed him off and took the lead as they all headed over. The majority of paladins were male, nearly 100 in all, but that was no problem for his main bathhouse facility. If there was just one room, that would fill it up, but they had several, allowing them all to bathe at once. Rimuru could tell some of them were nervous, and it must have been exciting for them. Rimuru would love to give them a bit of a shock. As he walked on, thinking this over, Rimuru ran into Shuna. Shuna told him that she had prepared the clothing, but asked Rimuru why he was together with the gentleman. The question was casual enough, but her eyes weren't smiling. It gave Rimuru pause. Rimuru replied that he just thought that he would join them in the baths. Shuna gave him a cute little grin. Rimuru wondered if that meant Shuna was incredibly angry. Shuna asked Rimuru how he meant, sizing them up, before squaring her gaze upon Benimaru and Soe. Shuna said that she's afraid that Sir Rimuru couldn't join them because he had an errand to handle. Then she told Benimaru and Soe that she would like to speak with them later. Rimuru wasn't sure what this was about, but they must have felt it wise to avoid stoking her rage any further. Rimuru, meanwhile, was being assigned to the bath in his detached house. Rimuru wondered how it could be and what set off Shuna like that. He had no idea, even as Shuna pointed him straight back home. After wrapping up a quick bath, Rimuru decided to check on how their prep work was going. They'd be using the banquet hall for the festivities. With all the events they'd been hosting lately, Rimuru had this hall hastily built for them. It had only just been completed. Basically, it looked like a circular domed stadium about the size of a gymnasium inside. Internally, it was wide open, the floor lined with tatami mats. It was meant to serve as an evacuation site in case of emergency, so it could hold a fair number of people. They had a lot of space to work with, so they used steel frame to construct a building of a decent size and sturdiness. But over time, this was going to change to Magisteel. Their nation and all the powerful magic born living in it had a lot of natural advantages like that. As Rimuru thought about this, food began to be delivered on serving trays on a set of intricate-looking bowls like you'd see in a fancy restaurant. Rimuru had shown them how to knead clay into bowls like that. But then, the children started imitating him. And nowadays, you saw a lot of really impressive pieces. For colors, they made dyes out of herbal extract or mixed weird ores into the clay, resulting in some dazzling work at times. The children's output was being used in the homes of families across town. It's important to experiment with a lot of things. You never know what's going to stick. The trays themselves were intricately detailed as well, made by Dold, using processed wood from other projects. The kids started imitating that too, and these days, handicraft sessions were part of regular recreation in Tempest. Looking at it this way, from hot springs to the containers the food came in, Rimuru's personal tastes were starting to show their presence everywhere. Compared with those first few days of chewing on grass, life had become unbelievably better for him. The food itself was really enjoyable now too. Rimuru guessed it's easier to strive for something if you really felt like it would benefit you personally. That's it for this video, guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and click the bell notification icon so you will never miss the upcoming continuation of Tensura's spoiler video series. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. Shout out to the top 10 commenters on my previous video. Shout out to Masham Said, Luke Devilox, Autistic Lemur 420, Anonymous Someone, Jamie Ira, Anime World, Commander Neo, Mr. Unknown Sanoy, Mazin Zold, Maki Bailey, Ayub Karim, Roshan Prajapati, Mr. Wolf, Zina, Sumaknon Chum, and last but not the least, shout out to Ban Undead. I'll see you guys in the next video.